A large percentage of UNCA students commute to campus by bike every day. This growing number of cyclists has brought more attention to the need for safer roads and increased bicycle safety. Garrett Kilgore spoke with a number of local cyclists with personal experiences that helped to push this voice of change.
Whether for exercise, environmental change, monetary reasons, or just for fun, cyclists are more prevalent on our roads. This roundabout here is where several cyclists I spoke with were hit by motorists. Allison Bradford, a student at UNC Asheville, explains her horror story of being hit and the detrimental effects it's had on her life.
I was riding my bike to school about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was tagged, sideswiped by a car. It was a hit and run, and I wasn't wearing a helmet. I had a head injury, and I smashed both of my wrists, and I tore my face off.
Youngblood Hask, owner of Youngblood Bicycles, is always around cyclists. In regards to his victimized customers,
we have quite a few that have been hit. Most of them are minor, but a few that have been hurt pretty seriously.
I was hit by a car on my way to school. The person basically hit me and left me laying on the side of the road.
Many victims claim their problems rely solely on the motorist's initial reaction to stay or drive off.
One of my biggest problems at this point after being hit is the people that drove off. All of the responsibility for paying for hospital fees sits on me.
I had one operation, just one, and that was just for hardware placement, was $22,000. And I've had over 18.
Cyclists must follow the same rules of the road, but some motorists disregard this equality.
There shouldn't be a problem having cars and bikes on the same road.
It's my right to have that whole lane, and I know that you're going to see me if I'm not on the side.
Stay behind that bicyclist until they come into an area where it's safe to pass the bike.
A lot of drivers just aren't looking for cyclists, and then some are openly hostile and don't seem to realize that cyclists have a right to be there.
So how did the police handle these difficult situations?
I feel the city approaches it pretty proactively as far as the police department goes. You know, depending on the information that they're able to provide us, we try to do as extensive of a follow-up as possible.
I think most people don't even get police involved, but when they do, the police seem pretty responsive.
They're willing to take care of you, but if the people drive off, there's not much they can do.
For safer and smarter riding, cyclists can take many precautionary steps.
Just always wear the helmet. Yeah, that's probably the #1 safety issue.
The flashing lights and the bright colors and all those sort of safety gear, I think it does help a lot.
Try to pay attention, to the cars around you, adhering to the rules of the road.
With this more prevalent, serious problem, is the city going to make a change?
I think there is some discussion in front of council right now as far as increased bike paths and bike lanes.
It's up to the people in charge to really make those ethical and moral decisions or to take accountability for their place in office to do the right thing when they're not.
Asheville motorists not respecting bicyclists' rights is becoming a bigger problem for our community. Both cyclists and motorists need to learn how to share the road and respect each other. Reporting for Mountain Highlights, I'm Garrett Kilgore with photographer Kenny George.